What's going on, guys? It's Ninja Chortle, and I am finally back with not only a new video because it's been a while. I apologize for that. I've been a little busy, a little sick, a little tired, a little kind of lack of content. I've had ideas, but I just haven't been able to get time to put them out there. But here we are today. We're back on Marvel Future Fight, and I want to thank everyone first for all of the support from the last Marvel Future Fight videos that I put up about a month ago covering update 2.9. It was a lot of views. I got quite a few subs, and I thank you all for joining me for this. And I do promise more Marvel Future Fight videos. Obviously, we're doing one right now. Today's video in particular is about cards. So I'm not doing a instructional sort of thing on cards and how to get them and what are the best cards and all that stuff. There's plenty of that out there. What I'm actually going to do is talk about cards in kind of a rant way, but it is a way for me to suggest a way to improve the card system, because I think it's seriously lacking. And again, it's a bias because I am about to rant a little bit, but before we get into the rant, it's gonna be a little bit of story time, because I have to explain why I feel the way I feel and how I came up with the idea. Again, I think it's a pretty good idea, but stay with me. So the card system, if you don't know, a quick thing, once you get to the point, I don't know what the level is, but you can acquire cards and equip the cards. The cards themselves have stat values that can be added to every single character. That these apply, as you can see, my Punisher number 19 card, it's at a mythical level. That's the highest it can go. It is, ignore defense, attack speed, and all these other stats, and these apply to every single character. Same thing with my Groot, Avengers, you get the idea. All of my cards are at mythical level right now. Now if we go to look at my view card effects, this is exactly what every single one of my characters have right now. I'm not sitting here going to say, oh, I have the best cards or that my cards are amazing. Actually, very much so that they are not that great. I do my best to make them good. What I'm trying to say is they just got worse recently, like very recently. The last two cards that I upgraded from Legendary, which is the 5 stars, to Mythical, which is 6 stars, are the Punisher card on the far left, as you can see, and my Civil War card on the far right. I just did the Civil War card about 2 weeks ago, and Punisher maybe about a month ago to Mythical. Prior to that, again, going back to my card stats, you can see my skill cooldown. That is the big point of emphasis here, and why I have a problem with the current system, why I've been upset, and why I think there should be improvements. My current skill cooldown is at 19%. Prior to me upgrading my two cards, the Punisher going from Legendary to Mythical, and upgrading from my Civil War card from Legendary to Mythical, my skill cooldown was around 29 to 30%. It was that high because, as you can see on these cards, none of these have skill cooldown on them currently. But at 5 stars, the blue stats, what you see as fire resist, movement speed, all defense, and energy attack, it was completely different before, and one of those stats, it was skill cooldown. So I had pretty darn good skill cooldown from my cards naturally, and then when I upgraded them, I lost about 10% of skill cooldown, actually more than 10% skill cooldown, which drastically changes how I play this game, completely changes it. Let's go, for instance, in a more specific character example is my Wasp. Now, as you can see, with the current update 2.9.5, we have our combat rankings, and at the bottom, and you can see my wasp is still pretty strong. I hate to brag a little bit, but that is a pretty damn solid ranking for a wasp character that's very strong in the meta at 2200. I'm impressed with that. What's amazing to me is that it's that strong despite the fact that my skill cooldown on her used to be much better than what it is currently. It used to be beyond max, or I should say beyond max, after all of the skills and the card bonuses and your alliance bonuses come in. So my alliance, I believe, is around level 20 right now, so I'm getting a 10% boost in skill cooldown, which you do not see here in the stats. So right now it's at 24%, and then add that 10% from the alliance, it'll be at 34%. The max skill cooldown is 50%. Now Wasp has a skill, which is here, encouragement. It is going to increase all speeds and apply the skill cooldown decrease on your enemies. So I actually thought that increased skill cooldown, but it does not. But either way, it used to be 10% higher. So I was pretty close to the max. I was able to take down Doctor Strange's in timeline with absolute ease and pretty much was indestructible as Wasp, and I still do a fairly good job of that right now, to be honest with you, but it's a lot more difficult now, especially in Shadowlands, trying to solo those Hulk Shadowlands stages or any combat Shadowlands stage with this Wasp, because the skill cooldown isn't as good. My skill rotation isn't as tight, so I can't keep the level 6 or the swarm shield. I can't keep that up constantly and stay protected at this current stage. There is like a 1 to 2 second moment where I have to I'm vulnerable to attack, and unless I really plan it out and I try to do my best to avoid attacks, I just can't quite do it. I have to get kind of lucky to avoid getting just crushed by Hulks. So like I said, it used to be a lot better, and again, that applies to every character. That includes characters like my Squirrel Girl, who, as you can see, is also pretty good. And also, most important, Elsa, with her skill rotation. The skill cooldown on this right now is Force of the Bloodstone, and different customs, different names, but this is a very important skill. Now, she has in her uniform a skill cooldown increase, proc, but even when that doesn't proc, it still was a skill cooldown that was pretty good before. Right now, it's not very great. It's not as good as it needs to be, and that it's honestly, when I made that upgrade to my cards and all of that went through, and I lost the skill cooldown off of both the Punisher card and my Civil War card, I was livid. And I'm still, like, I play this game every day, and there's not a day that has gone by since that last upgrade that I haven't been upset about this situation. So what I'm saying is, I want to propose something to Netmarble about Marvel Future Fight with these cards and how they should work. Now, I'm not saying it needs to be so easy that Caveman can do it. I'm not saying that it needs to be 100% accessible to people and that they can't do anything to make money. The whole way cards work right now is this. When you have cards, these are just the cards I just got for the most part today. I've been building up these legendary cards. I'm trying to build up a new Punisher card, so hopefully when I get this one to mythical, maybe I'll just replace the old one. But you build up these cards, you get 5 1-star cards, you can see, and then you can use those 5 to build up a 6th card to get it to 2 stars, and then so on from 2 stars to 3 stars, 3 stars to 4 stars, and you keep going until you get to 6. This takes a very long time and a lot of farming in the dimension rifts and using honor tokens and so on if you're trying to do this in a relatively free to play way. You can buy cards from the store with crystals. You do get some cards awarded to you. I just got a few from the World Boss Invasion. You get some from Shadowlands, so on. So it's not that difficult. It's not so hard. I understand the ways of getting cards, but still trying to, you have to start all over, basically, is what I'm saying. I can't just modify these stats just like any other game mode or game way of changing stats in the game. And what do I mean by that? You have to completely re-roll this card. You see this here combine button. Once it's at a mythical point, you can't upgrade the card. You can only re-roll the stats. To re-roll the stats on a mythical card, you need a second mythical card. So that's what I mean when I'm saying I'm trying to build up this Punisher card to mythical. So in the very least, I can see, well, when I get to mythical, what are the stats going to be? If it's good, I'll replace the old mythical. If it's not, then I will use this one, this new mythical, to re-roll this one and hope that that becomes good. That's a lot of randomness, and it's a lot of work just to see maybe that I get a chance that my card stats will improve. Maybe. And that's, again, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort for just an opportunity to do something different with the card stats. Other game modes don't do this, and I don't understand why cards have to be this way. And to give you a better example, let's finish off my Star-Lord, because I got a little bit of money. I need to roll some stats. As you can see, I like to get my gears up to 17 on characters, regardless if I use them or not. It's just a pet thing that I do, not a pet peeve, but just a thing that I do. So here's the last thing I have to do for Star-Lord. Now, if I wanted to, as you can see, it has the orange stats. Those are static, and the blue ones are the options, and those can change. Those are options. They can change. Just like in the cards, those are blue and they can change there. But I can manipulate them. Like here in this one, I didn't roll these default. They used to be energy attack by level or energy defense by level and physical defense and so on. But then I went to change option and I was able to change all and spend a bunch of gold to get it to be the way that I want it to be. I'm going to do that now. I'm going to upgrade all of these to max, get my options in, and get it up to the 17th gear. Okay, all this gold is being spent. See, this time it took 6, and now here we go. We have our 17 gears level, and now we have additional options. I can change these options if I don't like them. I don't quite know exactly what I want to do with Star-Lord because I still have to roll an ISO set for them, but that's, maybe I'll make a separate video on that sort of process, on how I choose the options. But if I want to change these options, I can make them all skill cooldown, or I can make the first 4 skill cooldown. I can make the last couple ignore dodge, or excuse me, ignore defense, or whatever it is I want to do, as long as I have the gold to do it. I can spend gold, and as you can see, that gold, as I go up, these stat bonuses, these stat options are higher stat options, and the gold that you can spend to change those options increases. Why can't we do that in cards? Another way, another thing, okay, Angela's a good example, the uniform upgrade system. So in the uniform upgrade system, we can upgrade the uniforms. It's going to give us an additional stat boost, and in this case, my Angela already has a skill cooldown, which is the blue part. That's the option, and what you can do, you don't have to keep that option. It was not the option that I originally rolled. I probably got crowd control time as my original roll, but with my money, as you can see, 50,000 gold, I kept spinning and spinning until I got the option that I wanted, which was skill cooldown, and then I left that. I probably spent a couple 100,000 gold just to get what I wanted, but I have what I want from this roll. So why can't cards be that way? Even I don't have a lot of Uru equipped because I'm just not at that point yet. I am above level 60, but I don't have a lot of Uru and I don't invest in it yet. That's something I'm going to do when I hit level 70. But even Uru has its points that you can do with this. So once you get the Uru equipped that you want, say here I have crit damage on my Sharon Rogers, and I can equip others, and I can also enhance Uru to continue to get the star levels up, get the base stats up, and then when I'm at level 70, I will be able to use Uru amplification, and then get those stats to be what I want them to be. It's still a little bit of randomness, but there's still a choice involved and what stats I want. Now, the card system, again, does not have that option. You pick the cards because you want the cards to have those orange stats, and then everything else in blue is randomized. Each level can have a different thing. As I have fire resist there, but that's not something that I would want. That's not something that I would choose for. But if I got it, I would say, okay, this is what I'm proposing. This is my proposals in Netmarble. I'll say, okay, I got rolled fire resist on this first option. I want to spend whatever currency it is. I don't care what it is, honestly. Netmarble, if you want it to be gold, if you want it to be Nornstones, if you want it to be a new currency, if you want it to be even crystals a little bit. Like, I don't want to suggest, make this a huge paywall thing, because I think that would piss off the community. But if it was at least a gold reroll like everything else in this game, to be able to change this first option from fire resist to physical attack, or whatever the options are for this particular slot, and be able to just continue to spin gold till I get the option that I want, and then I leave it alone. With cards, you really don't want to mess with your cards because of this static nature that they have once they get to mythical. Like I said, I already had everything great before when I had 3 mythical cards and 2 legendaries. But now that I have 6 mythical cards, you think 5 mythical cards, you think 5 mythicals. That's great, right? But it's actually made my stats worse. It made every single one of my characters worse because their stat increases, their skill cooldown is not as good as it once was. And now I have to suffer in every single game mode because my skill cooldown is no longer at max, it's no longer as good as it used to be. And now I was comfortably clearing Shadowlands up to stage 19 prior to that. Now I'm struggling to get there, and I'm having to use my better characters at earlier stages just because I can't use my mid-level characters on the lower stages because their skill cooldown isn't good enough. And even with attack and stuff like that. So yes, I'm saying you can even tier the different levels where, just like in the uniform upgrade system, that first option re-rolling is 50,000 gold. In the second option for the uniform upgrade system, if you want to upgrade, let's go to Doctor Strange here. Again, if I want to re-roll the first one, it's 50,000 gold. If I want to re-roll the second one, it is 52,000 gold. We can have that same structure, that same system in the cards. If you want to re-roll that 6th slot in your card, then it can cost more than it would to re-roll that 3rd slot in your card, is what I'm trying to say. But this system would make it a lot less stressful, and it would still invite card money, gold to be spent, and that way you can get the card that I want. And even if I don't get randomly generated the stat that I want, at least I can continue to spend gold, and that's up to how well I farm my gold or how well I farm whatever resource it is to make it better, to make it to be what I want it to be. But unfortunately, that's not the case right now. So that's what I proposed to Netmarble. Please make that change to cards, so that way it would ease the stress of the game. It'll make the card system a well-oiled machine, and it will keep everything in line with how the rest of the game works, because every other stat modifying tool does it a different way than the cards do. So guys, if you guys agree with me, let me know in the comments. Make sure you hit the like on this video, share the video, so make sure other people can see it, because I do think this is a very important topic. I know I ranted on this thing, but I do think it's a good idea that the card system could make this kind of change, and it would be practical for everybody. And it's not just me trying to flex my muscle or say, "Oh, I'm a VIP. I spend money." Like I don't spend money. I don't buy cards from the store. I don't do that. I don't use gold, or excuse me, I don't use crystals on cards. I farm cards from the Dimension Rifts, and I just recently started getting cards from the honor token shop, just because I get different cards there, and I finally got enough bios on Warwolf, so I'm done using it for bios. But again, let me know in the comments. Share this video. Make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Future Fight videos, and of course other games on this channel. There will be a live stream of Mass Effect Andromeda on my Twitch channel this weekend, starting on Friday, March, or whatever the day Friday is, I think the 24th. I will start Andromeda on the live stream tomorrow, or excuse me, tonight, Wednesday, March 22nd. I'm going to start up the Injustice Gods Among Us. That's the first game, story mode, because I haven't really played it. So I'm going to start that on Twitch tonight. So make sure you're there for that. And I will continue that later on after, kind of be like the in-between break between Mass Effect Andromeda. Just going back and forth between Injustice and Andromeda. So make sure you go hit up the Twitch channel for that. Follow me on Twitter for more current updates on the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. There will be more Future Fight videos, and again, more gameplay videos and stuff on this channel that is video game related. So I appreciate your view. I'll see you guys later.